Hello, Patriots. My name is Miss Nasello for those of you that do not know me, and I am your proud principal of Wanda Hirsch Elementary. So thank you for joining us tonight. Your time is incredibly precious. I know you're all doing things that you never expected to be doing. We're all doing things that we never expected to be doing, and this is not how we anticipated to start the school year. But I do have to tell you, thank you for all of your patience, all of your compliments. For those of you that are new to our community, we have an incredible staff, amazing students, just truly caring and adorable and loving students. And our families are phenomenal. So welcome to the Wanda Hirsch community. We are so happy to have you. For those of you that are joining us again for another year, we can't wait to see you, and we miss you so much, and we're so glad you're here. I want to thank you for taking the time out tonight and watching this video. You might be watching it before back to school night. If you are watching it on back to school night, this is all pre-recorded ahead of time, so you might be on back to school night or you might not, but you're still going to get the same information. Either way, thanks for joining us. Tonight, we are going to go over some staff introductions, and I'm also going to go over a few slides, just like we normally do in our back to school night, where I introduce staff and keep you guys in the cafeteria so you're not chasing our teachers like paparazzi chasing celebrities. Okay, so tonight you don't have to do that. Just watch this part of the video all the way through, and then join your teacher's live session at either 6 o'clock or 6:30. If you've got multiple kids, we do 2 sessions so that you can attend both of your teachers. If you have any questions at all, you are always welcome to reach out to me. I'm your principal. I'm here to support you. I'm here to support our teachers, and more importantly, I'm here to support our students. So if you have any questions, any concerns, please feel free to email me, call and make an appointment. I'm happy to meet with you, or even if you just need a phone call, that's totally fine. Like I said, we know this time is very different and difficult and frustrating for families, and we want to be there for you. We still have multiple things that we need to achieve this year, and these will be presented in the next few slides. All right, have a great evening, Patriots. We miss you and we love you. Hello, Hirsch Patriots. Welcome to our virtual back to school night, August 20th, 2020. You are listening to a pre-recorded information session from your principal, Miss Nasello. On the night of August 20th, there will also be 2 live classroom sessions, one at 6 p.m. and one at 6:30. We do the same presentation, teachers will be doing the same presentation at both of those times, so that if you have multiple students, you can attend one or the other and then switch. And don't forget, our evening ends promptly at 7 p.m. As far as staying informed, we highly encourage that if you have social media, please follow us on Facebook, please follow us on Instagram. Ms. Nasello posts quite a bit of information, especially videos lately, on how to stay informed and what's going on. We also recommend checking out our school website. This is where you'll find contact information for your teachers and especially our office staff and Ms. Nasello. One of the most important ways to stay informed is to make sure you're receiving school messenger calls, emails, and text messages. Anytime Ms. Nasello does a phone call, she also makes sure that she has an email, one that's also translated into Spanish, and she sends a text message so that you don't miss out on any information. If you are not receiving these, something is wrong. Please call our office and we will figure out what happened. We are on a 100% distance learning model at this time until further notice due to the coronavirus pandemic. Instead of using Zoom like last year, we are bound to using our district purchase products, which are including Microsoft Office 365. Our video conferencing software is not Zoom, it is Microsoft Teams, and this is the platform that we will be using. It is not an easy platform to get familiar with, but I promise if you stick with it and you continue to ask for help, follow our tutorials, it gets easier and easier and better and better. Our teachers have been working with it the last week or so, and each day is just getting better and better. So don't hesitate to ask. Attendance. Attendance is a big concern for Miss Nasello. We wish our attendance was a little bit better and a little bit stronger. So this is a goal that we are constantly working on. As far as attendance here for distance learning, this is a new requirement with the state of California on a distance learning model. We must count attendance daily. Students and families will be held accountable for attendance, and we definitely want to avoid the truancy process. Ways that you can avoid that and make sure your attendance is awesome is to be in school. Obviously, you cannot come to school. Your school place is at your home. So you need to be in school. You need to be on your Microsoft Teams meeting, and you need to be on time. One of the ways that we're struggling with attendance is due to devices. We know devices and technology can be problematic. So we have a way to support you here. If you cannot get onto your daily Teams meetings, you must email or call the teacher every single day so that they know that you are attempting to get on, attempting to do the work, or you are working on the work. This is a way that we can count attendance. So let's say something happens, your internet goes down, please get in touch with the teacher. If we do not hear from you that day, you would be considered absent, and it's an unverified absence, and it may contribute to truancy, and we just don't want that to happen to you. So every morning, teachers will take attendance for those that are on Teams. For all of those people that cannot get on Teams or are not on Teams, teacher will send an email or phone call. You must reply to the teacher. Please let them know that you are working on it. In our distance learning model, we have synchronous and asynchronous instruction. Think of synchronous as in sync. You are live with the teacher in real time in class, although you're at home. Asynchronous is the rest of the online work or the blended handwritten work that you would turn in some form or fashion. So you have these two things that are going on throughout the day. You definitely want to make sure your student has a quiet, safe place to learn. As you notice, some of our parents have sent us photos on what their learning space looks like at home as an inspiration to those that may need some pointers. Each student has their designated learning space. Some parents at home are also decorating their space to seem a little bit more like school. Some ways that we want to encourage your student to be successful here is to definitely mute your microphone. Students must mute their microphone if they are not speaking. You definitely don't want to hear all the happenings and going-ons in all the background. For example, if your parents are talking about something important, you don't want that broadcasted all the way across your class in several different homes. Definitely use the raise hand feature on Microsoft Teams if you would like to speak. This is school. This is a learning environment, even though you are located in your home. So we ask that the chat stay on topic and that appropriate language is used. As far as organization, make sure your display name is your real name and not an ID number or someone else's name. You also want to make sure that all your materials are ready to roll that morning. So make sure that you have your space ready for learning. We also ask that just because this is school and you might be home, that you do not eat during class. It is very distracting. And if you're laying down or dancing around, it is also distracting for others. So please keep your movement and all kinds of things, as well as your snack time, to your recess and break times. As far as being positive, we definitely want to encourage others. We want to be positive, and we definitely want to see your smiling faces all the time. So that's important to keep your camera on and engage in learning. We also ask that students complete all their work, and you're smart. It's okay to not know about things. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask and answer questions. That is part of learning. We already talked about being on time, and we already talked about finding a quiet space in your home to work. So now it's time to introduce our sensational staff. We have Miss Nasello's right hand, Mrs. Bauman, our new assistant principal for the 2020-2021 school year. So when you see her or talk to her, please give her a warm welcome. Our preschool staff here, Miss Kristen, Miss Siobhan, Miss Christine, Miss Selena, and Miss Deanna. These are our preschool teachers. We also have phenomenal preschool paraprofessionals such as Miss Anna, Miss Jamie, Miss Monica, Miss May, Miss Shayna, Miss Loretta, Miss Andrea, Miss Cheryl, and Miss Angie. Our TK team is made up of Miss Martin and Miss Joan. Our kindergarten team is Mrs. Adams, Mrs. Sequeira, and Miss Cameron. Our first grade team is made up of Mrs. Rodriguez, Mrs. Frings, Mrs. Rowley, and Mrs. Christensen. Second grade is taught by Mrs. Correa, Mrs. Isip, and Miss Wheeler. Third grade is comprised of Mrs. Baxter, Mrs. Delgado, Mrs. Picari, and Mrs. Price. Our fourth grade team, we have Mrs. Knight, Mrs. Greer, and Mrs. Fry. We also have in our fifth grade team, Mrs. Foisey, Mrs. Arnado, and Mrs. Fry. PE is taught by Mrs. Grijalva, and her paraprofessional, Mr. Carlos, helps out, so you'll see both of them working as a team. Mrs. Doobie is our music teacher. Mrs. Fulkerson is our librarian. We have Mr. David as our security and custodial staff. Miss Rebecca and Mrs. Gonchar are our intervention paras. Miss Kamal and Mrs. Garcia are our resource staff. Miss Rodriguez is our speech pathologist. Mrs. Jones is our school psychologist primarily for the preschool program. Mrs. DeRosa also works with preschool, but her main function is to work with our school-age students. And then our fabulous front office staff are made up of Mrs. Nita Wright, our attendance clerk, and Mrs. Kay Phoenix, our site secretary. And then we have these lovely ladies. They are not staff, they are our Hirsch PTO, our parent club. Up in the top left corner, we have our Madam President, Mrs. Daisy Ramsey. Just below her, we have Mrs. Michelle Mavis, our Vice President. Up towards Daisy on the right-hand side, we have Mrs. Irma Parokua, our Secretary, and then we have Mrs. Lacey Waddell, our Treasurer. They've put together a fabulous website, the hirschpto.square.site, where you can find all things PTO. You can sign up to volunteer, you can find out more information, you can buy hair bows and some of our other special things. And they've just got quite a bit of information there for you to see. Please join our PTO meetings. Even if you're not ready to make a commitment to something big, we definitely encourage you to attend and find out what's going on, how do they raise money for our school, and where does that money go exactly, and how do we use it. Our school is also a character count school, so we follow the 6 pillars of character counts, and when we were back in school physically, this is something that you'll see often in a lot of our messaging. So we highly encourage these 6 pillars of character in all of our students, and we do our very best to model them as well. Here is something incredibly important. It is our free and reduced meal application. It may not seem like it's that important, but it really is. This is a way for us to find out if our families need free or reduced meals for lunch and breakfast. Even though we're on distance learning, we are serving meals every single day from 11:30 to 12:30. Students that come through our car line for lunches also receive a breakfast for the next day. And there's many students that are fed through our school meal program. So every single student that has a family member fill out this application for them, our school gets $20 back. This is how we pay for copy paper. This is how we pay for ink. This is how we pay for our science medals. This is how we pay for our AR medals. This is how we pay for all kinds of different things at our school, because our school budget is so very teeny tiny. So if you don't mind taking the time to fill out this application, even if you do not qualify, we get $20 for every single student that gets that filled out. In order to fill out that application, Ms. Nacella will be emailing all families very soon. There's also a link in our Instagram bio, and there's also a link on the Learn More button on our Facebook page. Last year, at this almost exact same time, we did our biggest fundraiser for the year, and that was our fun run, which was put on by the Booster-Thon team. This was incredible. It's like a jogathon with high energy, Lots of staff around from the booster team just hyping up all the excitement and the things that we get to do. It was an incredible event. We were very highly successful, and this helped pay for so many programs and supplies and field trips last school year. This year, because we're not physically here, we have to think outside the box. So our buddies over at Booster put together something really fun, and it is called a virtual dance party. And this is essentially 35 minutes of exercising / dancing. Instead of trying to run 35 laps in a fun run, we're trying to get students to dance for the 35 minutes, and they can get pledges by the minute, or they can get flat rate pledges. So we want your student to register at funrun.com and then join us, get pledges, and then join us on August 28th, 10 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. to 11:15 a.m., where the whole school will be participating in our Patriot Virtual Dance Party. So with our Patriot Virtual Dance Party, our main goal is to raise $10,000 for classroom supplies. Last year, our goal was to raise $15,000, and we know that the coronavirus pandemic has hit a lot of our families pretty hard financially. With that being said, this year we feel that it's appropriate to bring that ask down to $10,000 instead of $15,000. We will begin collecting pledges on August 19th, and then our event is on the 28th. We are collecting pledges all during this next week and a half. So in order to support our school, please register your student at funrun.com. This year is also incredibly cool because students can earn prizes without even getting a single dollar amount pledged. So we're trying to build our community. We're trying to be sensitive about financially what's been going on across the nation, but we are also desperate to raise money for our school still. Every single school supply that your students use has been purchased from our teachers out of pocket. It does not come from our school site budget because we do not have it. All of our teachers pay for these things out of their pocket. So this is a way to reimburse them and ensure that when our students come back to school, our teachers have enough classroom materials to make sure your students have the best possible learning experiences that we can provide. Last year, Ms. Nasello and Mrs. Bradley got pied in the face because students earned so much money, and because we met the goal of $15,000, Ms. Nasello got slimed by the booster staff. We put it on YouTube and you guys all got to see it. This year, Ms. Nasello has offered to become an ice cream sundae. So if we meet our goal of $10,000, she will become smothered in whipped cream, drizzled in chocolate sauce, sprinkles thrown on her, cherries thrown on her, waffle crumbs, maybe even some ice cream. We'll see how it goes, but we'll make sure to film it all and put it on YouTube so that you guys can see what your hard work earned. So with that being said, Patriots, we want you to help our school. You can register your student at funrun.com, complete the farm application to donate to our school, and also participate in our Hirsch PTO events. We cannot wait to see you. Everything that you do helps us. We're here to help you too. Please don't hesitate to reach out, and we hope you have a wonderful evening. Don't forget, our evening event tonight ends at 7 p.m.